Hello and welcome to the Video Age. My name is Sean, and I am your host on this podcast about things we are nostalgic for and things we are excited to be nostalgic for in the future. And today we are talking about Dune from 1984, directed by David Lynch. And this is our uh this is our third entry in the April showers bring me dreams for hours month of April theme. It's hard to remember because this is the third, no, this is the fourth one, and this is the first one I'm recording. So it's messing with my brain, and I'm going to turn one thing off real quick. So, like I said, this is the fourth episode of the April showers bring me dreams for hours month at the Video Age, and we are covering Dune from 1984, directed by David Lynch. And I have with me today the perfect person to have on this episode, my brother, Josh. Welcome to the Video Age.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to dive into this cinematic treasure.
It is one of the great movies of all time, in my opinion, and I I do find it funny. I watched this the other night, and I think it's might be the first time in 2025 I watched it. No, I don't think so. I think I already watched it because I think I took notes on it when we said we were going to do this before, but it didn't pan out. Um, but yeah, I watched this, and it's funny. This is kind of a panned movie, quote unquote, and not critically acclaimed, but I've seen this imagery all over the place in different media from different people, and it's wild. It's like nobody's seen this movie, but its footprint is huge. It's just, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, I feel that same way that, a movie that's pretty much universally just kind of torn apart. It's you can see its influences across so many other things, and like you said, that's a good analogy. Its footprint or, its impression on so many other things throughout cinema even. Yeah, it's fun to watch it play out.
Yeah. And regrettably, we lost David Lynch this year, which really sucks. But we have his huge breadth of work to go over, and the fact that this is one of his least this is his one of his lesser works is amazing to me because it's like this is pretty fucking good. I mean, it's like honestly, this is pretty good. It's not bad,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and
I
it's like
yeah, I couldn't agree more. And just my note on Lynch, it's like, yeah, it sucks that he's gone, but I don't know. I mean, to live what he called it, the art life, for so long and to do it on his terms and basically to be wildly successful on doing exactly, for the most part, exactly how he wanted to do it. There's something to be said about that. And yeah, he had a not terribly long, but a a long enough life with, yeah, it's and he's respected all around entertainment, not just Hollywood, just everything. So yeah.
oh yeah, and I mean his the divergent paths he could have taken, and when he did this movie was when he could have done one of these movies. And for the eagle-eared podcast listener, you can obviously tell I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, but I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. David Lynch was brought in to George Lucas, who asked, if he would do Return of the Jedi, and he met with him, and he's like, "Sorry, George, not my cup of coffee." Uh, think I'm gonna do a weird version of Dune. And George is like, a weird version of Dune? What do you mean? Yeah, I'm gonna do it like if I did it. And but Dune is also the movie where, because of the studio and because of the interference and what happened, he said never again. And luckily, the company who did this, the what Dino De Laurentiis, he did say to David Lynch, he's like, if you do Dune, no matter what, I'll do your next movie. And his next movie was Blue Velvet. And that's one that some people have heard of, I think. But it's, yeah, so Dune, the failure of Dune propelled him. I mean, it wrecked him for a while, because to do that much work and to realize like that movie, and then also to have it gutted and turned into 2 hour movie where he's like, I could see maybe three and a half. It's like, oh no, sweetie, we're not doing that.
Not with this one.
But I wanted to ask you, what is your history with David Lynch's Dune?
Oh boy. So working at the video store, it was always there on the shelf, and it was nobody ever rented it. And I think that was, I kind of came about it. So I started with my David Lynch journey, started with the Twin Peaks TV series, and then um, went into Twin Peaks, the movie. Why can't I think of it? What
Fire
it's
Walk with Me.
Fire Walk with Me.
That's
And then
whoo.
I was always aware of the Dune book series. And then I was like, wait a minute, a Dune movie made by this crazy weirdo director. I gotta check this out. And upon my initial viewing, I hated it, but I was much younger and had different expectations of what I thought it should be.
Yeah.
And then maybe through, the lens of time, and, softened to the fact that we know what we know now and what went into making it, and everything that got, how he kind of had the rug pulled out from under him on some of it. I kind of watch it with a grain of salt, or a grain of sand, if you will. And
Ooh.
it's I don't know, it's more, it's easier for me to watch, and I feel like it still stands up, today.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are things you can point to, that the shield fight with Patrick Stewart, like that is the one where you're like, hey, yikes, oof, bad. They're rectangles.
I
Uh,
I think that's what initially turned me off of that, because I think that I watched it in the early 2000s, and that's when CGI was just going, you know, just
Bonkers
going
on
bug
everything.
shit crazy with everything CGI and effects. And I mean, other than some weird explosion graphics that I didn't think they needed, and yeah, the rectangle and cube fight, that
Yeah.
that I feel like the practical effects were really good.
Oh yeah. And it is like, it does hold up, and I still like it. And I think I saw it. See, I think I went to it right away because I wasn't allowed to watch Twin Peaks, the TV series, because I'm a little bit younger, and mom had enough common sense to be like, I'm not going to let both of you watch this. I shouldn't let the
only
oldest watch
only
this.
one of you gets to be scarred from this
So
for
I
now.
so I also, having access to the video store and having access to, yeah, you want to rent Dune? Are you sure about this, Sean? I'm pretty sure, is what my uncle said to me. He's like, I don't think it's ever been rented. if you want to. So I saw this very early, but I was just such a movie glutton. I was like, I don't really like this, but it's David Lynch and it's kind of cool and it's more Star Warsy stuff. So it just it sunk in like right away. It's just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep watching this because it's the only David Lynch movie I can get my hands on from the video store because everybody knows they're rated R, so I can't get any of the other ones until I worked at the video store. Then, somehow I got to see them. I don't know. Somehow the Emperor has returned, kind of way. It's like, I don't know. It just happened. I saw that movie. Well, you can't rent it. I don't know. But yeah, so I latched onto this early, and it's like, so yeah, everybody has an inner monologue that sometimes seems like other people are reacting to in the scenes because maybe it was dialogue that was cut out. Who knows?
Yeah, that was weird, but
It's so wild. Well, let's so yeah, we have uh David Lynch as the director. Um, and then we have Kyle MacLachlan as Paul Atreides, which this is the first time they work together. This, which is, it's his stable of actors. Like he grabs a lot of people from this and keeps working with them. Kyle
and
MacLachlan.
it's crazy I guess yeah the bullpen of actors that he pulls from like a lot. He likes to keep a lot of the same ones coming back. And but I mean just the list of people that he has worked with throughout his career is just bonkers.
Oh yeah. Um, we have Virginia Madsen as Princess Irulan, who it's hilarious how this movie starts. I love it. Just
I
right down the barrel of the camera, just giving you what for. And
and
she,
and yeah, that's a choice. And I I feel I don't know. I feel like he had to do just right off the bat, trying not to, spoil too much of it, but it feels like he had to do so much world building. And if you haven't seen a ton of his movies before, he's not necessarily linear in how he tells his stories. But like,
not at all.
and to have these elements in there where he's telling the story, but he also has the characters telling you what's happening and why. I feel like that had to steal part of his soul to
Oh
do.
yeah, because he famously likes giving you more information, but not necessarily relevant information. Because with Eraserhead, when that initially came out, his first feature, he had all sorts of things to hand out. Like he had invitations to the premiere and things, and he likes creating extra things. And for this, they had, I think it was one sheet of paper that had all sorts of information on it, like keywords and the planets. I'm gonna look this up right now. I should have pulled this up, but yeah, there was a handout for the audience because it's like there's a lot of information. It's like it's a 2 hour movie, honey. Can you maybe put that in the movie?
Yeah, and I
And
felt I felt like, I mean, definitely with this one, I felt like David Lynch, I don't even want to say walked, but David Lynch crawled, so Denis could sprint. It's like
oh
he
yeah,
laid the groundwork.
so yeah, there was a yeah, it was a two sh- two-sided sheet of paper with Dune terminology that was handed out when you saw this, so you could understand it. Um, and just gonna rattle off a little more of the cast. We have Brad Dourif, who is amazing. I love him.
Primo
He's
Wormtongue himself.
yes, he's he's proto Wormtongue in this. He's he's amazing. He's Peter DeVries. He's a terrible little mentat. We also have Everett McGill, which is the first time he works with Everett McGill. It's he is great as Stilgar. We also have Kenneth McMillan as uh, Vladimir Harkonnen. He's great. He was a TV actor. Jack Nance is there because that's one of David Lynch's oldest friends, and of course he's in it. We have Paul L. Smith as the Beast Band. Josh, do you know who Paul L. Smith played in a not great adaptation of a old as shit comic strip?
Oh, I don't remember. I feel like I knew it at one point, but
So Paul L. Smith was Bluto in the Popeye movie directed by Robert
oh,
Altman,
okay. That makes
and
sense.
he was also in a bunch of random stuff, but it's just it's wild. That guy has popped up in a bunch of things I've watched over the years. It's just like, and he has such a unique frame, and
Yeah.
he's good. Oh yeah, he's also in Pieces, which is a crazy slasher flick. But yeah, he is the Beast Raban. And we also have Jurgen Prochnow as Duke Leto Atreides. He was spectacular. And Patrick Stewart as Gurney Halleck.
Friggin' Patrick Stewart. I
It's
mean, oh my
that's
God.
great.
I watched this on like my first rewatch in I don't know, 20 some years. It's like, oh my God, I forgot that he was even in this. The just the we're not even all the way through the cast yet. And there's a fun curveball coming up, but this cast is I mean, chef's kiss. It's amazing.
Yeah. And we can't forget Sting as Phaedra. My
Yes, that Sting, Gordon Sumner himself,
yes, yes.
the police.
Um in one of the deleted scenes, like before, so like if that deleted scene was in the movie, it would be before his cool reveal where he is in that thong piece and he walks through the mist. And it was just like there is a deleted scene where he has Dr. Yui, who is played by, oh my god, where is he? Um, oh my god, top cast. Show me the full cast, you fool! All cast and crew. Oh my god, why can't I think of his name? His name's gonna pop into my head right before I see it. Dean Stockwell.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so he's torturing the Duke, and but you are introduced to Phaedra without like any title or anything. He's just there torturing the Duke. It's like, who's this guy? It's like, oh yeah, that's and it's also a scene that doesn't really matter because Dr. Yui has already been kind of messed with. We have Max von Sydow as Dr. Kynes.
Yeah,
It's
it's just the cast, the whole cast goes hard.
it's wild. And then Sean Young is Chani. It's like in the normal version of this movie, it's like, oh yeah, she's I forget she's here. She's here. Um and then uh there's a billion other people, and I don't think any more that stick out to me. Sorry, people I burned. Um, but yeah, it's a ridiculous cast. It's freaking amazing. Yeah. And the fact that like a bunch of these people basically got cut from the movie or had their parts whittled down. But yeah, this is it's a great friggin' cast.
Oh, and don't forget about little Alicia Witt. She was the what
Oh,
yeah,
um, Aaliyah.
Alia.
Holy crap! I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that was her That was
Okay.
her first on. I believe this was like her first gig.
I mean, it's gotta be. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
yeah. I mean, according to the all holy IMDb.
Wow. Okay. And then she was on an episode of Twin Peaks, of course, because
Yeah,
he brought her back. He's like, well, yeah, come on back.
none of my actors can only be in one thing.
Ah, wild. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. All right. Well, now is generally the part where we're gonna kind of dive into the movie, talk about it, go through it, talk about bits we liked, other things. But before that, I'm going to say, hey, go to thevideoage.com. There you can join our Patreon and you can get extra episodes and access to the upcoming episode up to a week early. Isn't that amazing? And next week, we are going to be doing Singing in the Rain to end out our April showers. Bring me dreams for hours. It's so easy to say that, and I've obviously said it several times because this is the fourth episode in the series. Not, but it is the first one we're recording. Oh my god! If the Patreon, you would have access to this so early. I'm stuttering and stammering because I'm not reading this from a script. It's all live right now from weeks ago, but I'm doing it now. What is time? Anyway, go to thevideoage.com and you can get access to our Patreon. And if you don't want to be a paid member, we just post all the regular episodes there and you can see the extra episodes we have up and you can go, oh, look at those. Those are pretty. But yeah, go to thevideoage.com. Back to the episode. So yeah, let's talk about this movie. And I mean, it immediately starts out on a bad foot. It's just like, oh, here's someone looking at a camera. Oh, this shouldn't be in the movie. This lady's just looking directly at the camera, going, "Hi, I'm Princess Irulan. It's the year 10,000, and spice. It's the spice of life, baby. It makes space travel real." And she does. She fades out, and she's like, "Oh, one more thing." She Columbos us.
One more question.
Just one more question.
One more
Do
bit of
you
lore.
do you know where spice comes from? Because this is me, Princess Irulan, asking you. It comes from Arrakis, or as we call it, Dune, colloquially. Anyway, that's me, Princess Irulan. Which then, it is, yeah, it's just wild that the movie starts like that. It's like, oh, hi, I've heard
Well,
of crawls.
and then I think we go directly into another sequence that's has voiceover narration where they're showing it's a male voice, isn't it?
So the next is, I think it's, yes, so then it is, yeah, a VO. It shows the four main planets that are taking place. I think this is like the Spacing Guild going, so we're the Spacing Guild and like we're a thing too here, and these are the four planets that are getting up to no good. And it's just like, okay, so pretty lady explains some stuff to us. I understood those words she said are words. And then you're saying these planets are causing trouble for the Empire, and Arrakis is a good place, and Caladan is the place where they do the Atreides. Okay, cool. Giedi Prime is the bad guys. Okay, cool. What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, I I really felt that they didn't like none of that was really necessary. I mean, I get it. It's Dune. It's hard to boil down the whole world of Dune into bite-sized pieces.
Oh,
And
yeah.
honestly, I think this does more harm than good because it's just you're like, wait, what? So which planet are we talking about here?
Yeah. Well, and then they do all this talk about planets and people, and then we go to the Emperor's throne room, which is on a spaceship, and we see Irulan. She's there, which the Emperor is immediately like, "Hey, you have to leave." Oh, am I going to be in this movie? No. Okay, bye. That's so many people in this movie. It's like, so I'm in the beginning of the movie. Yep, we'll see you at the end. Bye.
I I loved the shot coming into the throne room. The set for the throne room itself is just really awesome. How would you describe it? It's like,
It's future art deco, like it is. I love, yeah. I'm not good with words.
yeah, it reminded me of kind of like carved bone type thing. It was like all white and kind of, you really got the feeling of kind of regality and, definitely a lot of pomp and, but at the same time, kind of a fancy yet brutalist design. It was it's really cool if you can't see it. Like some of the visuals in this movie leave a lot to be desired, but as
yes.
some of the set pieces, they're really nail it. And I think this opening scene is really awesome. And it's even with the costuming and everything else.
Yeah, I like the military costuming on the Emperor, and like his throne has like a large golden circle behind him, and it's, yeah, it's very very cool looking, and it's huge, it's very spacious because the doors that open to bring in the Spacing Guild navigator, which that's a freak thing, are massive, and it they basically bring in like an RV that has this guy floating in it, quote unquote guy in the spice gas, which, I mean, this is, I don't know that they're described in the books. I think they're kind of like vaguely described as, messed up looking humans who have ingested too much spice gas that can fold space, which, it's cool. They can do the future thing, huh? Okay. Um
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, kind of like a huge overgrown kind of brain type, I don't know, slimy flesh looking thing in a big old glass case that did it have a mouth that it kind of
oh yeah. Yeah,
mouth
it had
aperture?
a mouth that it focused energy through to fold space, because I think it just speaks telepathically, or maybe it uses its mouth. Yeah, it's got a weird mouth, and it's weird entourage guys that are kind of dripping with goo.
and and their clothes are basically garbage bags.
Yes, I mean they're high tech space garbage bags, but yes, they are in fact space garbage bags. Uh, but oh wow, um, the Spacing Guild is like, hey, you gotta wrap up this Atreides stuff with the Harkonnens, and the Emperor's like, what are you talking about? And the Spacing Guild's like, hey, we can see all things, buddy, and we know you're messing with them. Just cut it out, and honestly, kill Paul Atreides. It's like, wait, the Duke's son? No, we want to kill the Duke. It's like, no, 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 no. Kill his kid. Get the kid. Get rid of the kid. get it. And he's like, okay, I guess. But we need to see who they're going to get. And that's when we see Paul Atreides, played by, oh my
Very
God,
young Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan. He is, yeah, he is about 12 years old. Um, and he is studying, and we've got his inner monologue. And like, kind of as an exercise, a little further on, I started playing the 2021 Dune just to kind of see how they were keeping pace. And they do for quite a while until they get into the desert. And then this movie hits fast forward. It's like 10x speed. Let's get through this. And then the 2021 one's like, hey, man, we're going to go through the desert. We're going to take our time. It's like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I feel like if you hold these two movies up to each other, at least the first maybe 45 minutes or so are very similar and just have, you know, obviously this one was made in 1984, so there are limitations in different things, but I feel like they're very, you can definitely tell in like a lot in some of the exercises that Paul is doing, and some of the other things we'll probably talk about in a little bit. They're pretty much the same, and I feel like these ones, and in this movie there are some fairly campy performances, but I feel like in some of the more critical points of this story, they still stand up.
Oh yeah. And so yeah, Paul is studying Arrakis and the spice, and think he's studying the worms. He's just studying that in general. And this is the same thing in the modern one. And then his, instructors come in, which is Gurney Halleck, Thufir Howitt, and Dr. Yui, which they are the leader of the House Assassins. That's Thufir Hawat. Dr. Yui is the House Mentat, and Gurney Halleck is an all around kick ass cool dude. He's like the leader of the House Army. But they do a little training session with him to prepare him for how serious Dune is going to be. And Gurney is going full bore with the training, and he's kind of thrown Paul for a loop because it's like, whoa, Gurney's really attacking me, and there's just more inner monologue stuff because the audience is dumb and they can't be trusted to understand anything. Basically, that's basically why you have tons of voiceover in movies. It's like, well, they won't understand it. The audiences are dumb, and the audiences are dumb. They're getting dumber and worse. It's terrible, but we're not going to talk about that. Um, yeah, his this is where we get the famous and infamous the shield fight, which is it's quick and extremely painful to watch, but it's over, and it's like, oh, this is a kind of cool thing that they have, and maybe it doesn't necessarily work, so we won't do it.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of, like, I don't know which movie came out first, but it reminded me of like a lot of the Tron type of graphics. It was just this kind of clunky, and I don't know. It didn't really work, but to be fair, it seems like they've stuck with that kind of template throughout all the different iterations of Dune, and even in the newest TV show, Dune Messiah, they do that. Say, obviously the graphics are a lot better, but it's the same concept. That they don't make
Yeah.
it look, and I don't know if that's an homage, to not make it look super awesome, but yeah, it still looks kind of, it's like, wow, this is weird. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The the thing I love about the Villeneuve versions are like how friggin' true it is to the books, because it is just spot on. And it's like, well, I mean, you get to spend 4 hours into it, you can really do some stuff. And I mean, as much Dune as I've ingested, it's like I want more. I want to do it all. Give me the God Emperor. But I mean, that's a long ways. That's a long stretch. But uh, the shields, if they're all of their tech in the Dune world is kind of intentionally dumbed down a little bit because they had a big problem with artificial intelligence. There was a whole war, and that's why they have mentats. But that's getting totally lost in the weeds of Dune. um, but
Which
yeah,
is I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it later, which is something this movie doesn't really get into.
no, because it's the there's not enough time, and what are you gonna keep? I mean, they didn't keep a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff, understandably, was cut because some of the stuff just looked bad. Um, but pretty quickly we get the Benny Gesserit arriving to test Paul because his mother was supposed to have a girl, and well, she done chose to have a boy because you can do that in Dune. I mean, it is the year 10,000 after all. Did I tell you that? Did I mention that?
Oh yeah, Virginia Madsen, or the princess, whatever, told us that at the beginning,
Oh
just kind of
yeah,
giving
that's
us
where
the
that
lore.
was.
You could just, you could just flip that switch at the beginning and choose what you're gonna have. But yeah, that what was the lore behind that? She rebelliously chose to bear a male heir or whatever, and it's like,
For love.
oh, Jessica.
She loved her Duke. She loved her Duke. Um and we also think we've met the Duke by now. Um and he's proud of his boy, and he is excited and nervous about going to Dune. And I don't know if he knows about you know the test he's going to take with the Gom Jabbar and the Benny Gesserit, but oh boy, that's a pretty cool scene. I mean, more more internal dialogue from every single character we meet. Oh, here we go, new character. What are they thinking? um but this is a pretty cool scene. We're going to see if Paul is an animal or if he is a man. uh it's a scene to test your mettle, to see if you are capable of being a human.
So yeah, so it's the test. Are you gonna get into that? What that's all about? She has him put the hand in the box.
Yes. So yeah, this is a pain box, and it is meant to test you, and it will induce terrible pain. And at his neck, the Benny Gesserit witch holds a gom jabbar, which is a little poison tipped, like, friggin' needle, and it'll kill you as soon as it touches you if you recoil from the pain. And then she basically talks through all the terrible things that are happening to his hand in the box. The flesh is melting off, burning off, bit by bit is falling off. It's terrible. And you see the visual they have of it, which is pretty decent. I mean, it's kind of, at points you're like, wait, what's happening? Oh, okay, that looks gross. Yikes.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's like the top of his hand is just the flesh is just kind of flaying off, and you can see that I don't know, flames superimposed on it. And then
Yeah.
yeah, it was okay. It was I don't necessarily know that they needed to do that, but it was a nice again with the audio cues, which the audience doesn't know what's happening. Here's a visual cue. He thinks his hand is on fire.
Yep.
And yeah, is that where he's the pain?
The pain. Oh yeah, there's so many of the scream outs. Father. Oh god, it is. Yeah, it is. I love this movie, and I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
Uh,
And yeah, I feel like, I make the parallel because the movie, the 2021 Dune was made and it was a international blockbuster and a phenomenon for so many reasons. And, I feel like again, this scene is almost beat for beat with that. So I mean, it's if you've seen that, it's really similar, and I feel like the performances are really good. I really like this whole scene. I feel like the performances are really good, even with the the big the pain,
the
even
pain.
even with the big emotion coming out through that. But yeah, I really like how it all played out in that scene.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you just clip that, it looks ridiculous, but if you watch it in the context of the entire movie, it's like everything is like that. Nothing is, everything is very theatrical, Shakespearean, like it is big. This world is big, and it also kind of is that in the books. It's like politics and intrigue fucking everywhere because there are little literal conversations in the book that are happening, and it's like this is the side thing that is actually being said, and here is the secret hand gesture message they are saying to the people behind them. It's like, wait, what? There's three conversations and two of them matter. And they do a little of that in this with the battle language that they hear when the Harkonnens attack in a little bit. Um, but yeah, there's so much, and trying to convey that into a slightly over 2 hour movie is a Herculean effort that is, I mean, David Lynch did the best that he could, and it's a pretty damn good movie. So yeah, he has passed the test of the pain box, and the Benny Gesserit now want to know if he's gonna be the Kwisatz Haderach, if he's gonna be Isan Al Gaid, if he's gonna be the chosen one. Um, and Paul's not really sure about that. Um, but now we're gonna go to the really cool planet where everything's cool and normal, and it's not David Lynch just being raw and real and crazy. We're going to Giedi Prime, where the Harkonnens live, where everything is green and black. This is where we meet Brad Dourif as Peter de Vries, and he is on his way to meet the Baron to discuss the Duke's message that he sent him.
And he
Uh,
has very, very wild eyebrows.
yes,
And he has the chapped lip and mouth area, a child
yes.
that has been left outside in the elements for too long. Did so I never read the books. Um, I'm sure that's addressed in there.
No, it is not. This is a creation of David Lynch.
I love
Um,
it.
yes. So in the books, the mentats are human computers. So they don't have computers that do higher functions. They have computers that do like mundane things that they program to do things. So mentats are human computers, and they're like super trained and like crazy smart. And David Lynch is like, How do I convey? I have 2 hours. You said 2 hours. How do I convey this? Ah, it's the sappho juice. It makes you drink it and it makes you smart. And there is a there is a slogan for the sappho juice. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. It is by the juice of Sappho that thoughts acquire speed. The lips acquire stains. The stains become a warning. It is by will alone I set my mind in motion. Rinse, wash, repeat, and you get to be the super smart guy. That's what David Lynch figured out. And um in the 2021 version, the person who plays Brad Dourif's role, David Desmalchin, uh, he actually did film that, but they didn't keep it in the movie. And I don't know if you can, I don't know if they like publish that deleted scene, but he has said that. And it's like, yeah, it is. We did film it. It's like, oh shit. Well, and of course, David Desmalchin is a huge nerd, like amazing actor. He was in Christopher Nolan's the second Batman movie, The Dark Knight. Why the hell couldn't I think of it? He was the Joker goon who got caught. Um, he was also the lead in Late Night with the Devil, which that's a hell of a movie. But yeah, so he played Piter in the newer version, and that was a hell of a movie. But yeah, Piter is meeting with the Baron, and what do you think of this scene? The introduction of the Baron. This is
I I I really like it because it's just so over the top. Like you said, you know, the everything about this universe is big, and I I like this version of the Baron because he's, you know, and it's such a stark contrast. I keep making the comparisons to the 2021 Dune. Totally, they went the different way of a grotesque character. In this version, has like open sores on his face, and
yeah,
and I love the way that the camera is and the way the lighting is. Every time he's covered in sweat and gross goo, and he's every time he talks, he's yelling and spitting everywhere,
he'll know, he'll know.
there's like zero redeeming qualities about this character. And I feel this is one of the motifs that Lynch likes to deal with is like there's a lot of black and white with him. He paints with other things too, but a lot of his bad guys are only bad. And
Yes, he's
this is a great example of that is like nobody likes this guy.
yeah, he likes to paint his bad guys in the heaviest black, and then like pretty much everybody else is like, gray. It's like, what do you mean gray? It's like everybody's gray. It's like, well, Cooper's, the perfect one. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we're with Dougie for season 3. What's happening with Dougie? Oh,
Yeah.
Dougie's perfect. I love
You have
Dougie.
your light and your darkness, and everything else in between can yeah, they'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
yeah. Um, but yeah, this is where we meet the Baron. He is ridiculous. And we also meet the Beast Raban, and we have Phaedraltha, who comes out of the steam room thing. It looks cool. That's so much of this movie is just like it looks really cool. It's like, yeah, it does.
Is
So
this where he comes out in the Speedo?
yeah, yeah. This is
He's just all greased up too.
oh yeah,
He looks it's like Sting looking just cut.
yeah,
And I feel and that's what's fun about this scene too, is because you have your grotesque, just absolutely disgusting Baron, and then On the other side of the coin, Sting is just beautiful. And he's just like in perfect shape. He
Yeah.
looks good. He's smiling. So yeah,
And
it's a super fun scene. And we get to see our friend Jack Nance, who's always he's so fun. He always has just a it looks like a bewildered look on his face. It's, just he's definitely good about playing the confused, kind of put off guy. I don't know if he has any lines in this scene even,
uh yeah, I don't know. I
but they
He's
they cut
playing
it
like a weird future theremin thing. It's making
they
a
cut
terrible
in on
noise.
his face, and he just has like an awkward look on his face. It's like, oh God, I hate it when he does all this stuff.
Yeah. It's like I just want to play the dang theremin. I don't know why the Baron wants to be crazy like this.
I took this job for the benefits. I didn't know it's gonna be like this.
I didn't realize I'd be working for the Harkonnens.
But yeah, and then they're doing like weird things with syringes and injecting things and
Yeah, they're getting the goop out of the Baron's pustules. My Baron, your disease. Oh, I love that guy's the surgeon's line. It's like your disease is like love to me, or it's some ridiculous over the top line that his sycophant says to him about how wonderful his terrible corpuscles are. Um, but I think this is where I started the Dune 2021 experiment a little bit. Yeah, so when we go back to the Atreides, they are preparing to leave Caladan. It's rainy, and of course, they've got their space pugs with them. There's pugs.
there's
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 little
pugs.
pugs in the year 10,000. They made it, y'all. And presumably those are the only dogs because that's all we see. Well, maybe on Caladan. I don't know.
And that's I watched someone else talk about this, and that was one of the things that made an impression to me is like, they had a full life, and what they and you knew that they enjoyed life and had all these luxuries. The fact that they were able to, even though they're in the middle of a war and they're probably being set up for failure on this planet, they still bring their little comfort pugs with them on the trip there.
Oh, oh
Because
yeah.
yeah, and that's what's fun about the little details and little nuances. It's they are a royal family, and they're definitely they have their comforts.
Oh yeah. I mean the ship they travel in, it's like they're in three thrones in front of their viewport in their spaceship. It's like, so this is your spaceship? Like I'm used to the dang old Millennium Falcon where it's like this shit's falling apart. It's like, yeah, the ship works, but don't look too closely at anything. This ship's like, look closely at everything, please. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. We have so much gold here. And yeah, I honestly I was surprised because I did start. Yeah, this is like where I started the experiment with the two movies and started the other one on my computer while I was watching the this on the TV. And yeah, I was surprised because like I thought they spent more time in the 2021 one kind of. I think they do spend more time on Caladan because it's basically all that versus the, telling you about this and then telling you about this more and then telling you about this more and then finally going to the other stuff. So I think they do spend more time in the 2021 on Caladan, but like they're lining right up. They're doing the same things. And like when they're landing on Arrakis, they're landing on Arrakis in 2021. So it's, it looks better and bigger in the 2021 version because
Yeah.
they're able to do that. But I mean, they had a shitload of people, like real people, on set for the 84 one when they're landing. There's a whole slew of people there, and we've got them quickly learning that things aren't great on Arrakis. There's definitely leftover Harkonnen spies, probably hidden in the walls. Ooh, yikes! And the Duke is going to head out to a spice mining rig to check out what's going on. And this is where we get our beautiful, wonderful, blue eyed, blue within blue David Lynch. He is the operator that we see on the spice mining rig once they fly out to it. Um, I should cover the still suit scene. We are introduced to Dr. Liet Kynes, who is played by Max von Sydow, and he's, telling them about the spice mining operation. And this is where he's like, "All right, I'm gonna set up your still suits. All right, you got this going on." It's like, "All right, here we go, here we go." Wait, Paul, you're already set up. What the hell?
All's the cheat code.
Paul knows he's the white savior. God dang it. Um, but it's like, oh yeah, he'll know our ways without even freaking knowing our ways. And he is excited about that. So they go out to the spice mining rig. It's like, well, it's, this is how they do it. And, as long as they don't get worm sign, and immediately Duke Leto's like, so worm sign? There's worm sign. Hey, there's worm sign. It's
Yeah,
like, wait,
the worms are coming.
wait, no. I like in this one how like the worms, there's lightning with it, which I kind of like, because static electricity going over the, I don't know, it looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know if that's covered in the books, but I mean, it's very neat, the travel of the worm in this.
Yeah, I like that that other visual aspect of it too, because it's like this place is inhospitable, and it's the Australia of the spacing guild planets or whatever, everything there is trying to kill you. And
Yes.
then we have some, oh, the worms are coming. Yeah, they're bringing the lightning too. So
Yeah. Yeah, the worms are going to either directly kill you or bring forces of nature that will indirectly kill you. It's like, what happened? Ah, worms showed up. Oh, we got eaten by worms? No, 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 no. Struck by lightning a lot. A lot. Oh no. Um, so many notes. We're still on the first page. My God, we might pick up the pace. Let's just. Are there any particular things you want to talk about or mention?
Um, just going over my notes from before. I think I skipped over. I think it was in the opening scene when they're talking to the space brain in the tub, whatever. They talk about plans within plans. I just thought that was just the way the line was delivered. It was pretty simple, but it was really fun. And then
Yeah.
later on, uh again, it's another motif in this story, but it's a huge motif for Lynch. It's I think it was Paul's character said, I all I wrote down is sleeper dreams and waking dreams. I think he was asleep. I don't know if
So,
we got to that part yet, but yeah, it's
um, so yeah, that was actually, I just went to my notes, and that was when he goes and talks to his father. His father tells him, the sleeper must awaken. I forget exactly, but that is what he tells him. The sleeper must awaken. And Paul, that is a pretty big thing for Dune and also Lynch, because he was always about that, through transcendental meditation and, just trying to access that part of his brain, because he didn't do what a lot of people do is just a bunch of drugs and stuff. It's like, no, I got it in my brain. I'm just gonna pull it out of my brain.
He'll just sit and zone out for hours. So
Yeah.
was the sleeper and the stuff, was all that in the book series?
Uh, I don't know. I don't think it was exactly that, but I mean, it is a lot of like waking up to, you know, the golden path, which is what Paul eventually sees when he takes the water of life. He sees laid out in front of him this golden path. But if he takes this golden path, it will make the universe better, but billions upon billions of people will die because of him. And that's why, spoilers, he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go in the desert. I'm going to cut my fucking eyes out. It's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? That's big spoilers. That's like not even in this book. Because spoilers, this movie is like, hey, it rains. Everybody's cool. Wait, what? I don't think that's how Dune ends. I don't think it's just like, hey, everything's fine now. I mean, it is, but um,
But yeah, that's like you said, that's a huge thing that Lynch always deals with is dreams, and it's and being in a dreamlike state. And that's, I don't know, a lot of that's where he said a lot of his ideas either come from the transcendental meditation sessions or his dreams, and he just works that into whatever he's doing. And yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. And back to the scene with the Baron and whatever in his whatever room that they were in, where we kind of meet him and he's having all his procedures done, and there's all the reveal of the Baron.
the freak
And
chamber.
yeah, that whole scene to me was that that was the what I felt is the most, I guess, Lynch centric moment of the movie, when they had the guy. Was there a guy in there that was manipulating some juices and stuff that didn't have any eyes? His his
Yes, that
his
was
his eyes were like just fleshed over, and it
yeah,
looked,
the guy who had like straws in his eyes, like his
yeah,
eyes were sewn shut, and there was like straws, so he could like only see. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
yeah. There was all sorts of just wacko imagery in there, and it really was, kind of an assault on, like, visually, and with so many different things happening, and that are just crazy. So everything up until that point was just kind of, the space goings on, and the intrigue and the politics of it. And then you go to this guy who's just, and all his cronies who are just absolutely unhinged. And yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, and like because everything, yes, Caladan looks very, it's super comfy. Caladan is super comfy. Like it's even comfier in the 2021 version because like I said, they spend a little more time there and it's like it's rainy, it's nice, it's pretty cool, and we got our, ancient history. We were matadors. That is like there is a shot of the bull horns that are representative of the family. I can't remember all of it. I have too much bullshit in my brain. But they show that in this version and in the 2021 version, and it's just like, oh, so yeah, like you were saying, they have history and it's a lived in space. And then yeah, you go to Gedi Prime where it's literally green painted walls on black and people are being tortured and there's just acid pits that are just open. Because yeah, the Beast Raban has a little juice box which has a creature in it and he sucks up the juice in that is just all the little ridiculous bits of stuff, little bits of business they have in this. It's great. um So let's kind of, I don't think you want to talk about this all night.
I mean,
Um,
that's the thing. I feel like you and I could probably talk about this movie for several hours because is
oh
uh,
yeah.
there's so much going on.
Like
And I
I'm
feel
restraining myself from tangents. Like I'm holding
eh,
back on some tangents.
yeah, and I really feel like, like we kind of touched on is Dune, just the Dune, I guess, intellectual property is so huge. And to try to boil it all down, no matter what year you're doing it, into a 2 hour, 4 hour consumable, easily marketable product is really difficult.
Oh yeah. Like I was I was nervous and excited when they're like, "Oh, there's going to be a new adaptation of Dune by Denis Villeneuve," and I was like, "Okay, I'm kind of aware of him. His stuff has been pretty good. Okay." And they're like, "It's going to be one movie, and then maybe a second one." It's like, what? It's like, okay, you're cutting it up into two, and
We already tried that.
you're saying if the first one does good, we'll finish it. It's like, hey, so you're not saying you're gonna finish it? Oh God. But then it came out and everybody's like, wow, this is great. Why didn't they do this before? It's like, hey, stop it. They already did. David Lynch did it, and then the Sci-Fi Channel did the rest of it. And no one looked at those except for me, who was like, more Dune? Ah, and
Now, yeah, not to get on too much of a tangent, but I thought those were really well done too. And I
I
thought
I watched every fucking second of those.
I haven't revisited them lately, but I thought those were uh yeah, they hit all the marks. And yeah, watching them now, there's probably a lot to be desired in the special effects and whatnot, but it for like a mini series on cable TV, it was really nice.
Well, and they even they went to the children of Dune, which is where things get weird, and one of Paul's kids puts baby worms on himself and then eventually turns into a worm, but they don't go full worm, but they start covering it. And it's like, holy crap, you're doing this on Sci-Fi Channel? Brave, but also not gonna stick around.
Yeah.
People aren't gonna watch it. Um, but it was, yeah, it was weird. And who the heck is the now famous actor who was in Children of Dune that I can't friggin' think of?
But yeah, we
Uh,
at our house we watched that all those and we liked them a lot. My wife especially, she is the driving force behind the Dune fandom here.
oh yeah, James McAvoy plays
Oh,
Leto 2
wow.
in the second miniseries. Yeah, that's from 2003 when he wasn't really anybody.
Yeah.
Um, so let's try and cover the rest of this quickly. Is
We're gonna pay homage to the movie and just kind of fast forward through a lot of things.
yeah, we're much like Napoleon. We are going to try and invade Russia during the winter, or try and briefly synopsize Dune. Some of the great follies of history. Uh, anyway, the the Baron has plans to attack the Atreides, and the Emperor is like, "Hey, we're not supporting you, but here's the Sardaukar. Have fun." And the Baron's like, "Let's fucking go!" And we get a pretty cool invasion. And I love the. I don't think I touched on it, but like the space travel stuff was so great. I wish they would have honestly spent more time with it. It reminded me of 2001 a little bit, because David Lynch had the sense, just like, we can do like soundtrack, but we can also just do silence too. And there's some silence in it. And then like that huge, like, Baroque, like, picture frame ship that they fly in. it's do you remember that it's like all their ships are flying into this crazy like gilded picture frame that is the
Yeah.
side that's like it's the yeah the pomp it's ridiculous, it's over the top, I love it. um so yeah, they the Harkonnens attack and pretty much kill friggin' everybody. The Duke is caught because a uh Arakian Arakian, I don't know, shot up Mapes was killed, and she had talked to Paul and Jessica each individually earlier and warned them that some things were going on. Um, but the Duke is quickly captured because Dr. Yui has betrayed them, and he installs a poison tooth so the Duke can kill the Baron when he gets close enough, because Dr. Yui knows that despite all his plans and what he has done to betray the Atreides, he will probably never get close enough to the Baron to kill him. So he has set up the Duke. And sure enough, Dr. Yui is not able to get close enough. He is killed because his wife, who was captured, was already killed, and the Baron, being a scummy little dude, backstabs him, gets him out of there. Um, this the Duke is being tortured and kind of beat up by uh, the Baron and Piter, and he is all whacked out on goofballs, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you," and he thinks that the Baron's in front of him, but it's Piter, and when he bites down on his poison tooth, he doesn't get anybody,
Yeah,
and
he just bites down on it, and we see a green mist kind of spray out from his mouth, and I don't know, it doesn't do what it was supposed to.
yeah, in
Swing and
the
a miss.
2021 version, it's way more intense, and like I mean, Brad Dourif does the best he can in this, where he just and falls down, but like you have people keeling over in the other one, and it's yeah, it's a bigger movie. Whatever. Stop talking about it. Don't dwell on it. Um, and Paul and Jessica have been drugged because, like I said, Dr. Yui, the house physician, has betrayed them, and they are tied up and thrown into a ornithopter and taken out to the deep desert to be killed. Which classic villain. It's like, we have them here. All right, these guns we have in our hands, we're going to put them in our holsters and take these people out to the desert to die. What? We could shoot them in the face right now till they're dead, and they'd be dead. No, 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 no. Take them
You
out
know
to the
what?
deep desert.
We're gonna take the chosen one and just let him die of exposure.
Yeah, and
The
his
cho
mom.
the chosen one, yeah, and his mom, who are probably hell bent on revenge and revolution. Nah, let him go.
We should let them know that like we've killed and like tortured their father and husband. Like we should let them know that first before we let them go. So not the guns and the shooting them in the face till they're dead, but the deep desert. Yeah, yeah. And make sure you get the most incompetent guys. Okay. Hey idiots. So yeah, they get them to the deep desert, and it's dusty in the desert. That's obviously why I was coughing. Um and Paul is trying to use the voice, which we haven't really addressed, which is one of the Bene Gesserit's powers. They are able to use the power of suggestion, a voice. They can get a creepy voice and be like, "Hey, come here,"
Yeah, and
and
they do kind of like an overdub. So it's like it has kind of like an echoing effect, and
yeah,
it I think it's pretty cool. So you can tell, like, when they're trying to do the voice, and
yeah.
yeah.
I should have listened to this with headphones because like you can hear the echoing. I wonder if it's a little better when it's right on your ears, but yeah, it's because they do like the echo and like the distortion, and yeah, because when the pain box scene happened, the Benny Gesserit mother had to be like, come here, nerd, I need to test you, and he's like, I don't wanna. It's like, no, we're doing a test. You didn't know about the test? Oh, it's like 90% of your grade. So if you fail this, you're gonna fail the class, and I'm gonna stab you with a gum jabar, then you die. Oh God, I'll fail the class. Um, wow. So we have Paul. He uses a voice successfully to get one of the goons to ungag his mom, who is like, hey, I'm way better at this. You guys shouldn't fight over me. And then they kill each other, and the ornithopter crashes into the desert, and they have to escape from a worm. But while they crash into the desert, they both realize that the Duke has died. They feel it somehow. And Paul is kind of waking up to his powers because he's gotten a lot of exposure to raw spice out in the desert. And they eventually realized, hey, we can't hang out here. We got a GTFO. So it's like, all right, let's get a thumper going. And remember, walk without rhythm to avoid the worm. That's in a Fat Boy Slim song. What is it? The one Christopher Walken dances in.
Oh, weapon of choice.
Yeah, that's that song is about Dune or has Dune references. I don't know, whatever. But
Nice.
um they head into the desert, and this is where we get some worm footage, and it's pretty friggin' neat. I mean, it's you got the classic matte outline from the old stuff, but it looks good, and I mean, it's a big dang old worm chasing them.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with the how it stands up, whatever 40 plus years later, the practical effects on the worms, I think they're pretty stellar. Like you said, you still have the outline on that, but I think I don't know, that's just the way movies were. That was
Yeah,
that was pretty standard and but I
you
I
have
I thought it was really well done.
you have to have like George Lucas money, ridiculous money to come back and be like, yeah, I'm gonna fix my movie. It's like, hey, dog, that movie's been out for 40 years. You sure about that? You sure you want to fuck with your movie right now? It's like,
And
yeah,
I
why
mean,
not?
I kind of like it because it's a snapshot in time of the movie making process and how it's changed. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that's just for me how I look at it. Yeah, sure, as compared to like pretty much any movie that's out now. Yeah, it is a little campy and cheesy when you see the graphics like that, but that's how movies were made and it's practical effects and I feel like it's still pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. Um, and they realize, oh man, right before the worm was going to get us, it was diverted by another thumper. That means there's people out here. Uh-oh, yikes. And then they round a corner, and Everett McGill's there, and he's like, hey, I'm from Twin Peaks. It hasn't come out yet, but you guys your kids are going to love it. Um, and he immediately gets it turned on him by Jessica, who knows the weirding way, and he's like, oh shit. And Paul's like, I'm out of here. And this is basically where the 2021 movie ends, but they spend another hour doing all this stuff because in this movie they did film um the fight with Jameis, the guy who is pissed off that he joins the troop, and but like I watched that scene and it looks like a badly it's like it's good as the choreography can be, but it looks like Star Trek The Next Generation fight. Like
Yeah.
it's not good and it doesn't really drive the story that much. And then that makes other scenes that they film, because in the books and the other movie, he has a wife and kids who then by the law Paul gets, and like so he's technically married to that lady and he has kids, because he also, since he's Paul, he's like, well, I have to do this because this is their way, and I have to honor it, and I took him. And so then that lady's, all her scenes were cut,
Mm,
and so like it's a big chain reaction of scenes that were cut. And since you cut that, I think they reference, we reclaim the water, and then the water of life was brought up, and then there's a scene where they get the water of life from worms, which they take young worms, drown them, and then they like basically throw up their insides and produce the water of life, which makes you trip balls and become a prophet or melt your brain.
yeah.
um yeah, it's super
So
cool
so
stuff.
it's so it's basically a whole other movie within the movie that was cut.
Yes, because like the end, like I call it the, what did I write it down? It's like the court scene, like at the end of the movie where Paul is holding like a royal court basically and being like, "Hey, I'm doing this." There's there's got to be like 5 minutes of cutscenes, which means there's probably like 10 to 15 minutes of stuff they didn't even like save. So yeah, there's so much extra. But yeah, there's too much. So we get Jessica taking the water of life, and since she's pregnant, it makes her unborn child a reverend mother just like her, and whoops, that's an abomination. So she has a freaky kid, and then Paul meets Chani, and it's like, hey, we're in love because the story's got to progress. It's like, what? That's not how you hit on people. It's like, no,
Yeah.
that's how the story has to progress. We're in love now. It's like, oh, we're in love now. Okay.
Hey, I just met you and this is crazy. Let's get married and start a revolution.
All right, let's start a global, nope, a universal jihad. Whoops, we can't say that word anymore. Why? Don't worry about it. Um, so yeah, Paul immediately is like, "Hey, I love you guys. Okay, you're with us. Let's give you your names. You'll be Usul, and you'll also have a secret name. It's seriously, it's this quick. It's like, hey, Paul, you're with us now. You're going to be Usul, and you'll need a secret name that we only have. Oh, what's the desert mouse? Ah, Muad'Dib. Oh, okay, cool. That boom, there you go. There's my names. And then it's just like, well, okay, so we're gonna go fight the Harkonnens. Okay, 2 years later. Oh shit. And it's like, oh, okay. And they've been fighting them, and things have not been going good for the Harkonnens. And the Emperor eventually shows up and he's like, well, what the hell's going on? And he has the Beast Raban executed. And the Baron's like, well, we don't really know what's going on. It could be anything. And this is when Paul meets back up with Gurney Halleck. Patrick Stewart comes back with his battle pug, and he's like, hey, let's go. We're back at it. We're going to take the worms, and we're going to break down the shield wall, and we're going to blow the atomics, and we're going to light up the friggin' Harkonnens. And they do. And it's a pretty quick fight. But the battle theme, that that battle theme, I think it's by Brian Eno. The music in this is great. It's wonderful.
So the research that I did is Toto did the music for the movie. So if you ever hear any of the yes, Toto by
Yes.
their claim to fame being Africa, the
What? I've
song.
never heard that song. Hmm.
Um, they did any of the music that you'll hear that has it sounds kind of epic, and then for whatever reason it'll have a crazy guitar in it, like
Okay.
a driving guitar rhythm. That's Toto, and any of the bigger sweeping kind of symphonic stuff, that's the Eno. So I
Okay.
guess he did like the opening, like the theme, and then I from what I heard, I don't know if it's right that they kind of got Eno last minute, Lynch did to like do that because he didn't really care for a lot of the music for the rest of it.
Yeah.
So just one of the other issues with it, but that's something we didn't talk about at the beginning either. Oh yeah, Brian Eno and Toto
Yeah.
are doing the music on this thing. So
Yeah.
just in case if the stacked cast wasn't enough for you, yeah, we got it all.
Oh yeah. I mean, and it's yeah, they have everybody. They had the full bench. But yeah, they have arrived to take down the emperor, who it's it's cool. I love the little shot of the emperor's golden pyramid in the valley, right next to the city. You see it in like a wide shot when they're looking. It looks great, and it looks like a 1984 version of the one we see in the 2023 second movie, where we have Christopher Walken, the weapon of choice himself, showing up as the Emperor. Wow. Hey, there we go. Full circle. It's cyclical. Um, but yeah, Paul shows up and he is like, "Hey, Emperor, I'm kind of in charge now, and you need to go away." And he's like, "Oh, but no." And Phaedralthus shows up and he's like, "Hey, you know me? I want to fight you." And with like 2 minutes left of the movie, it's like, okay, they're going to fight now.
Yeah, that's to me there wasn't a whole lot of tension and build up to this epic final clash between, and basically to I guess kind of push this jihad that they'll call it to kind of push this into the forefront and make it legitimate, I guess, on this big universal scale. And it's like, yeah, and then they fight for a couple minutes.
Yeah, two people who have never met, never had a conversation, are gonna fight, and this is gonna figure it out. Figure what out? I don't know,
Everything, man.
but I do just like I said, there are so many shots you can show to like you could show someone 100 different shots from this movie, from like different scenes or different parts of scenes, or be like, oh my god, this has got to be one of the best movies ever made. It's beautiful. It's holy shit. These images, you're just showing me pictures of this movie. It's amazing. It's like, no, 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 no. It's it's good pictures. It's got great pictures, because like when he kills Sting and he's lying on the ground, and then he does the Fusro died. I mean, bah, and like makes his chest kind of like explode a little bit and the ground break. That's fucking, it's a terrifying shot, because like his eyes are rolled back and his like mouth is gaping open and his chest kind of pops open a little bit. It's like, yikes. But also it's like it's that great image that was like, wait, who was that? Oh yeah, that was Sting. Why was he there? Oh, because he wanted to kill Paul. Why do you want to kill Paul? I don't know. He was told he had to kill him. Um, but then Paul is like, "Hey, everybody, all those stores of water we had that Sean didn't mention earlier when we talked about that scene? Don't worry about it. It's raining now. Whoop woo!" And it rains on Arrakis, and then we have voiceover. It's like, and he became the hand of God, and everything was okay. And this story isn't incredibly complicated.
Yeah, so if it feels like we kind of zoom through like the basically once they get to Arrakis, it's because they did, and it's because the movie did. And that's what I felt like was the big downfall in the movie because like you said, It's the first about half is really good. I feel like they do a really good job, but I feel like the second half that it I don't know, it's like everything just kind of drops off. It's like you're not as invested in the characters, and other characters are introduced that you are probably important, but you don't get a whole lot of motivation behind them, or the interactions aren't really there and the relationships aren't built, and then it just seems like it just everything just kind of wraps up and it's like, yeah, the end, and then all sorts of things happened and it was great.
Yeah. Because like I said, I feel like that final scene in the court with the emperor and the baron and everything was significantly longer, because like there is Thufir Hawat is in the like Harkonnen ranks because he was captured and had a heart plug put in, and all these things are happening, and Paul is like, I see Thufir, a former ally, as one of your prisoners. I would ask that you bring him forward. And then someone hands him a knife and it's like, you have to kill him because, he's been programmed. He has a heart plug, which, can kill you, which is not a thing in the book. That's a David Lynch thing, of course. A heart plug? Frank Herbert was a pervert. He liked Dami mommies. He didn't like heart plugs. And David Lynch is not a pervert in that sense. He is all about weird things. So he's like, yeah, heart plug makes sense. But Thufir is supposed to assassinate Paul, but Paul's like, you are one of my greatest allies. You served our family for 3 generations. If you need to kill me, you can. And he turns his back on him. And Thufir, you know, instead of going for the kill, pulls out his heart plug, and then Paul embraces him as he dies. It's a beautiful little scene, but it's like 3 minutes long and it doesn't really do much for the story. So there's that. And then also when I was talking about Jameis's wife, she's in that scene at the end. You can see her there. She's standing like to the side, kind of by the throne, and she's got 2 kids and she has a pug in her arm. She had other scenes, and I think she interacts with him in this scene. And then there's like, so yeah, I think, yeah, this could have, like, I think there is a 3+ hour long version of this movie. So there was all sorts of things, and I think Lynch wanted to do everything in the movie but just couldn't because of time and money and common sense, because for the longest time he also did special effects on his movies, which studios had to break him up. It's like, you can't do the special effects, David. You're the man doing everything else. You can't do that. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure I can. And I forget what movie it was. Oh, it was the Elephant Man. He was trying to do the mask,
Yeah.
the prosthetics, and it's like, David, you have to do the movie. And
You're not
he
in film school anymore. Just we
yeah,
have people that do this that make good money.
and he did it, and he's like, yeah, it's not really that good. I don't think I can do this. Like, thank you, please, please.
Sit in this chair, tell the people what to do.
Yeah. And hey, you make everybody incredibly comfortable and love you, because everybody does. No one, everybody on his sets loves him, and that's why he gets so many people back. He got so many people back all the time. It's just because he was a joy to work with. He loved art. So yeah, that is Dune from 1984. I love this movie. Josh, what do you think about it?
I really like it too. I mean, if we're gonna say, number, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's really, for me, it's really good. It's not great. It's definitely not perfect, but I don't need it to be. It's super entertaining. It tells a story, and knowing the other side of it, like that's what makes me like this movie even more, knowing how it was made, knowing the struggles that went into it, and knowing that this is David Lynch's movie, that he didn't like talking about it. He basically disowned it because it's famous now because he didn't get final cut on it, and I mean, I feel like and we're all better off for it because he learned that lesson with this movie that and he gave that was the one piece of advice that he gives to other filmmakers: never ever ever give up final cut on a project. And that's and I mean, you can definitely tell in this movie. Would all of his other material made it a better movie? I don't know, but I feel like it would have been more linear. Maybe the story would have fit better, and I feel like that second half wouldn't have fallen off so dramatically as it did. But yeah, that's I like it, and this is a comfort movie for me now. I can pretty much put it on and just like slide right into it. Yeah, it's a fun one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And like I said, I think I've watched this a couple times this year already. And yeah, it is a comfort movie for me. I love this movie. I yeah, if I would give this a number, I'd say 10 out of 10, but like asterisks and like I am incredibly hyperbolic and I saw this movie when I was a child. Like I probably saw this when I was 10 because I think I was just dying to ingest David Lynch material and then I discovered this. So it's like, okay, this is good. And like I did the Phantom Menace convincing myself this is good, but in a way that it was like, oh no, I'm right, it is good. I'm not gaslighting myself into thinking this is good. This is a good movie that has a lot, it has bad stuff in it, but it is a good movie versus the Phantom Menace, which is not a great movie with some good things in it. But yeah, David Lynch's Dune from 1984. I recommend you see it. I don't know what the hell it's streaming on. It might be on Max right now. I think they have all the Dune stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why I watched it on Max, and I know, if you want to get like our good friend David Lynch would say, if you want to get real dreamy with it, I'm pretty sure Blue Velvet is on there as and and I think the Straight Story is on
that's on
Disney
Disney Plus.
Plus.
It's a
So
Disney
yeah,
movie, baby.
there's a good mix of his more, I guess you could say, more approachable stuff out there that
Oh
you
yeah.
could that you could really get into, and
And
then you can
then
get
if
even
you
more dreamy.
hell yeah, get weird with it. Go watch Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
It's oh my god, that like I can't say that name without thinking of the diner scene. Like
Oh
I can't
yeah.
I can't like just saying Mulholland Drive plays that scene in my head instantaneously and I go, ugh, I get a
And
chill.
that's the thing. There's no reason. I mean, there's a million reasons from a filmmaking standpoint, but there's no reason why that scene works as good as it does because, and that's one of the things, man, we could go on for hours, but
Oh yeah,
that's one
it's
of,
it's it's a scene where they literally tell you exactly step by
yeah.
step what is going to happen and that there is going to be a jump scare. And then literally you walk through it step by step and there's a jump scare and it scares you and I'm getting like tense from it right
Yeah, I
now.
can I can feel the goosebumps on the back of my neck. Yeah, and that's the thing about it is it's in broad daylight too. And
Yep, 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 yep.
however he was able to do that with his magic and to pull those performances out of the people in that scene too, and the sound design of that scene and all of it is, yeah, it's art. And that's, I guess, if I know we probably got to wrap up, but that's the thing that I like about Lynch. It's made me watch and consume media differently just from what he's said, is that, you know so many of his movies are non-linear and to a lot of people just don't make any sense. People are like, what's it about? And his big thing is like, it's about how it makes you feel. It's,
Yeah.
are you gonna go to an art museum and look at a painting and, if the artist was there, say, well, what's the point of that? What does this mean? It's like, it's that's the painting, or it's the picture, it's the sculpture. It's about this is what I felt when I was making it. It means whatever it means to you. That's what it is. And
Yeah.
that's it's an abstract way, but I feel like he's definitely opened that door to help people through that to like just watch it and feel what you feel, man, and go from there. It means whatever you think it means.
Yes. Yeah. I love his stuff, and if you watch it, uh I highly recommend, like I said, watch Blue Velvet. It's a great way in. It's like, oh wow, this is wild. It gets kind of dark and creepy. And it's like, yep, that's a very approachable one. Come on, come on in. Come on in. Hey, when you get to it, once you've earned it, Twin Peaks season 3, episode 8. We're waiting for you there. Once you get there, then you're really there. But you don't have to get that far in to love it. So yeah, David Lynch is amazing. Dune, this is a great movie. Asterix, whatever you want to say. Um, but yeah, this has been probably one of our longest episodes so far. Uh, I can totally believe that. But yeah, this is almost the last episode of our series. April showers bring me dreams for hours. Brings me dreams, but it's plurals. See, I make convoluted titles and always screw them up. But we have one more movie we're going to cover next week. We are going to cover Singing in the Rain, and I may have a guest for that.
Hmm.
Are you possible to do that? I mean, it doesn't have to be actual next week because we have until the end of April. But if you want to hop on that, that could be your spot, Josh. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I think you like that movie. I'm not
Yeah.
sure though. But yeah, so that will be next week's episode, Singing in the Rain, and that's pretty much it. And now just the simplest, easiest part. Well, actually, Josh, do you have anything to plug? Do you have a podcast, a business, a shoe company, liquor line, anything you want to?
I just do my thing and watch movies and live life, man. I just let it. I try to live life how our friend David Lynch would want to live in the art life, but he said our art life is about smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. I don't smoke the cigarettes, but I love drinking the coffee and just enjoying art and life. So yeah, that's it. I love talking about movies and TV shows and all that other crap. So I'm sure I'll be here again.
Hell yeah. All right. Yes. So I have been Sean. That was my brother Josh. Go to thevideoage.com to join our Patreon, get extra episodes and early access to the upcoming episodes. Now I'm just gonna do the most normal thing I do at the end of every episode is walk through the time portal back to the video store that I run in an alternate dimension. All right, bye.
Bye.
That's it. That's the episode. Let me stop the recording.